Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello? Okay, great. Hey, y'all. Thank you for your love. So sweet. So I just wanted to check in. It's been a long time. Thank you so much for all your love. Oh, thank you so much. Y'all are so sweet. Hmm. Hmm. That's a great question. I think a lot of letting go of my attachments to things that I put energy into that don't restore my energy. Um, you know, I think keeping my peace has looked like being kind to myself, doing the best that I can, and also being patient, taking my time, and doing my best to take responsibility for what I do in the future, for what I do in the present, and to be more caring and careful of that, to also respect other people's journey. A lot of, what you have left when you're at peace with yourself is whether or not you're at peace with other people and the decisions that they make in their own lives that you may be disappointed by or upset by. Or maybe the ways that somebody has hurt you or set you up for failure. I think keeping my peace in that context has looked like letting a lot of that stuff go, even though that sounds simpler than it is. It really is about focusing on yourself. And looking at your own stuff. How do you deal with a breakup with a long-term partner? It takes time. But also pouring into yourself, uplifting yourself for the qualities that so many people love you by, not just that person. And also reminding yourself of how desirable you really are. Breakups are tough. They can be tough. Even when we know why we're breaking up with someone, it's still tough. Miss you too, Anthony. Hope you've been well. I love Pose. Pose is very special. I think if you know any Puerto Ricans or any grassroots orgs, post them here, share them. But if you know any Puerto Ricans or grassroots orgs, you know, if you can afford to send money, do. If you can't, that is okay. You know, there's a lot of devastation happening. And it's a lot. Especially for those of us who have family there. Ram, I have experienced ego death a few times. Hey, Tish. Morticia, what you said? Oh my God. Tish, she's so funny. Hold on.
So we were just doing this and now we're doing it again.
Can't let it go.
No, I came on late, but I saw that you were talking about Puerto Rico.
Yeah. Someone asked me about what they should do about what's happening in Puerto Rico. And I suggested to look out for grassroots orgs. I don't know any on the top of my head right now.
Same, but I feel like we've partnered with orgs in Puerto Rico. I can't think of any at the moment.
If y'all know any, post them. I'll share some in the coming days.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling a little hungry. Ooh.
This has been my favorite place.
Oh my gosh. What's it like?
It's a little busy, um, not as noisy as I thought. Um, I want to describe the smell, but it's like, it's so not anything I've ever smelled before. Very interesting place.
Does it smell like kind of like burnt rubber or electricity? Like, what does electricity smell like?
It's very like electricity meets like a little bit of pine and vanilla.
Ooh, not burnt not burnt rubber. Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
Mm, gosh. Let me see. Mm.
Mm.
Any advice tackling the guilt from resting from work? What do you have to say about that, Morticia?
There's a book called Laziness Does Not Exist, and I haven't started it, but I would like to soon, because I've had feelings of like guilt about not working, and I'm like, but girl, You're always working. The work is always being done. And so, what do you feel guilty about?
Mm,
What is that guilt because you're not working, or is it guilt because of like some sort of expectation around work or what work should look like or how we're supposed to work?
true. And like the conditioning of the system that wants us to always be working.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we're not, we feel bad about it. And that guilt is like defined, it's like purposed to force us to go back to work and not rest. I think it reminds me of a very dark history that a lot of our ancestors experienced. Rest is paramount.
And it's essential. We love your team rest. Rest it up.
Right, team rest. Oh my God. And then, how can you deal with loneliness as a trans person and isolation? Ooh, Morticia, we talk about this all the time. What is it?
Girls get lonely.
That's right. The girls get lonely. Ooh, my loneliness has gotten me into a lot of trouble. It has harmed me. Well, not my loneliness, but the decisions that I made because of it. Loneliness has created desperation for me. Um, Loneliness has really made me think about access to love and friendship in the context of love and partnership in the context of love and how deeply complicated all of these things are, especially for trans people,
Mm-hmm.
particularly. How do you deal with it in isolation? Well, I can share how I dealt with it. What about you, Tish? Any thoughts?
So I'm kind of like swirling, but I'm just thinking about moments where I've experienced feeling lonely, and if in some of those moments that it like overlapped um, relationships, like romantic relationships or platonic relationships, um, that I've also been experiencing like loneliness or um, not closeness.
Mm.
It's tough. Like it's simply put, it's a very, very difficult place to be in and to navigate. How-
Honestly, yeah. Would you say, I mean, me personally, I can say, thinking deeply about it, that I've been traumatized by loneliness. Um, like, even during moments where I'm not alone, sometimes I still feel like, I think that was what you were saying, like, I still feel like it's difficult for me to for me to experience closeness
Mm-hmm.
because of the way that loneliness has manifested for me so much in my life. And isolation. Like, I think the way that I deal with that now, I actually create. I create things that I feel connected to, whether it's images of things that I feel connected to, or whether it's creating, just creating using art that I feel, kinds of art that I feel connected to.
Mm-hmm.
Also, being honest with people who love me about the moments that I feel lonely. And I think a lot of people, we all want to not experience loneliness. And we're all so embarrassed and ashamed for feeling loneliness because we think that only people who are uninteresting experience loneliness. Only people who don't deserve love experience loneliness. Only people who are not good enough, or whatever that even means at all, experience loneliness. But you can experience loneliness and be good enough. You can experience loneliness and be so desirable. You can experience loneliness and be somebody that millions and millions upon millions of people follow on Instagram or Twitter or whatever. You could be experiencing loneliness and having the whole world wanting to have a conversation with you. And you can experience loneliness and be lovable and be so deserving of love. And, there's so many different reasons why people feel lonely. And I think, like, it's because of how difficult I think we make it for ourselves and each other to connect
Mm-hmm.
and to stay connected. I think, like, the way that we're entering into a less compassionate, unforgiving, and world that is rooted because of social media and amongst other things, and so much social culture that is overwhelmed by critique. I think, like, we often, miss opportunities to connect with each other around the things that bring us closer, the things that we all love. And also, we get so hung up on differences and, you know, I was going to say mistakes, but I feel like there's certain mistakes that are really difficult to trust people through. But I think, like, we're entering into a space where we're creating mistakes out of people who just, are living the best and doing the best that they could out of life and don't even know that they're making mistakes, you know? Or, like, also the idea of someone's life being a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people think trans people are mistakes, So, like, I think, I don't know, I deal with loneliness by stepping into my spirituality and recognizing that I live on a world, on a planet that is alive and filled with so much life. Even if I don't get to be around other people who understand me and see me and love me, perhaps even the way that I, perhaps even the way that I might love other people who don't love me back. I still can walk outside and go outside and lay on the grass and swim in the ocean Or if I don't have access to the ocean, maybe I can go to a coffee shop, and or maybe I can go to a library and really use my intuition to allow me to connect with people that I feel are more likely to be open.
You said many of things, and I feel like some of those definitely landed with me too. But one that while you were speaking, one that I feel I always end up going back to that allows me to then, it grounds me, movement, specifically like dancing and exploring the body, um, and like movement of the body, um, and kind of just like tapping in uh, to myself, and also like feeling what movement does for me spiritually, um,
Mm,
what it does for me physically, how it like allows me to move, literally move through things. Um, yeah, movement has been a very like beautiful medicine in feelings in times of loneliness and isolation. If I can get to, when I do get to movement, because, in the middle of isolation and loneliness, like sometimes it's also hard to move. Like,
mm,
so it's not like I just like wake up and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna, it gives when we get there.
that's
And,
right.
yeah.
Mm, mm. I appreciate you. I hope Jules didn't leave and was able to see that response. Mm.
I can't see comments. Like I can, but they're not moving. Still gonna win. Kalela's new track, Washed Away, gives a feeling, invokes a feeling of separation or and loneliness, distance, um, in a very beautiful way, like in a very appreciative way, I think, because I've also found that I think more my relationship to like isolation and loneliness, it has changed. Like what I've experienced in loneliness and what when we've all been isolated these past, few years, um, how that showed up for me, like, and and thinking about what I actually felt like in social spaces before I had time to like really sit with myself and and think about how I physically felt when I showed up and when I was in spaces, versus, yeah, thinking about how I felt physically prior to the pandemic versus after. Um, and I've like really discovered a lot of beauty in moments that I've had to myself that have been like so still and silent,
Hmm.
that were essential, that were really like needed for me to like just be. with myself. I think being with yourself is important. Um,
Mm.
when you're able to really be with yourself and it doesn't feel hurtful
Mm.
or harmful, you know what I mean? Because we also, to some degree, all need some sort of connectivity to others. So,
Are you saying that this is what Kalila's music video was bringing up for you?
kind of, yeah, I think it's in line with that. Um, I don't want to put words in her mouth, but something that she repeats is far away. Um, and I haven't really gotten into like the entirety of the lyrics, but yeah, it feels. And she's also been, people have been asking for her to show up over the past, like since she released her first album. Like it's been 5 years, and people are like, "Girl, where you at?" It's like, "Girl, I'm far away." Like I've really been, away. She needs to be away. Like aside from just work, because we were talking about work earlier. You know what I mean? Like in order to show up for work and herself, she needed to be away. Um, to also like I'm sure just live and exist like casually and not in this this way where like people are always asking you when is the album coming out, when is the new music landing, when can we get when.
Right. Right. I mean, I feel that OD. Oh my God, I feel that so much. And it's like it's a lot, you know. I think I want to produce from a place of like I want to produce and create from a place of freedom,
Hmm.
from a place of um absolute inspiration and not anxiety. I feel that. Um yeah, it was amazing to me to see Kalila in like these vast um and these vast like landscapes of like we were literally like girl like we were just like joking around like where where's the fridge, like where where's the nearest restroom, like where's like da 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 da. And like keying and like also like realizing how she was like in these vast expanses where there was nobody but like earth, and like it was just incredible because there was no sense of loneliness from her. And
Mm.
like vast expanse of like everything and nothing all at once.
Everybody please go watch the video.
Oh,
Mm.
okay. Um, someone asked me if you can work with somebody asked me if you can work with Kim Kardashian, if I can work with Kim Kardashian and support grassroots orgs. Yes, I have been supporting grassroots orgs before I started working with Kim Kardashian. I have been working with grassroots orgs since before I started working on Pose. Um, I have been, supporting grassroots orgs while I was homeless and barely even collecting a stipend check from said grassroots orgs for working with them. So I've dedicated a lot of time and energy into the orgs that, you know, represent people like me and help assist people out of circumstances that I've survived. Um, and so yeah, you can support grassroots orgs, and you can also work, regardless of whether you're publicizing, that I think a lot of people make assumptions about who you are and what you're doing or not doing by your Instagram and by your social media. And I think that's a huge issue. Um, you know, I think like so much of the performance that people expect is I think unconscious. Um, deeply unconscious. Um, yeah. Oh, love you too, darling. Um, I think the last question I'm gonna answer, unless Tish wants to go on, is how am I maintaining my calm in difficult situations? That's a great question. Do you have anything to say to that, Tish?
Um,
I
how do
feel
I
like you're one of the
remain?
most calm people that I know. Honestly, like you're always really, really calm. I don't know why or how or whatever, you could speak to that, but every time I see you, even when I know that there's something happening, you always are visibly calm. And so
Mhm,
I'm wondering if the person is asking, if they're asking like, how do you maintain your your visible calmness, your visible peace,
mhm,
or how do you maintain your peace overall, your overall calm? Because
mhm,
there's the performative calm that you have to maintain at work when something is like, and then you got to be like, and
mhm.
keep all of it inside. And then there's also the calm that is universal within and outside of.
All I can hear in my head is Rolling Ray saying, "I'm a Virgo," like, like
Oh my God.
main,
Virgos be getting on my
maintaining
all calm.
a calm through through like I think showing up and like for me, if I can't, I feel that if I'm not able to like really like show up, and I don't know that I would want to like necessarily just present calm, but rather like the energy that I want to feed people. Um,
Mm,
if I
mm, mm.
have it to feed the kids, you won't get nothing to eat because I don't have nothing to give you. But generally, to keep a calm, I think things like breathing, um, really breath work. Mhm. Breathing really keep me in a state of like not necessarily calm, but more presence with like my body, scanning my body to see where I am. Because you're not going to be calm all of the time, but in the moments that I do want to and need to like regulate myself and bring myself to like a state of um not as like not as much frustration or anger or confusion or whatever. Breathing is a good tool, and
Mm.
um I think having community helps to like we can have internal conversations, but I think also our like loved ones can help offer peace to things. And so that can aid in a consistent calmness. Um, but I think that on the regular, it's just a matter of consistent checking in to see, where we are today. Where are we like right now, at 2:30 p.m. Um, thing, so, you know.
Mm, that's real. Calm, maintaining my calm has been a journey. Um, I have not always known how to maintain my calm. Um, I didn't even know that was a thing because coming from like an experience and a culture where, I'm from the Bronx and everything is all about being a real ass bitch. Excuse my language. And like being real and being authentic and being sincere about whatever it is, being honest about however you feel, saying it out loud, being it out loud, especially when you go from that to social justice work. That teaches you as a marginalized person to be unashamed about how you feel and to not care about the ways that other people who have more privilege um, critique you about how you feel or about your rage, and that all these things are righteous before I get to heal
Hmm.
was a lot. um, and like I learned very quickly that my rage was righteous on top of coming from a culture that overemphasizes being real as not having restraint. And I think like um calm for me then, has been difficult. Like, and having access to like the resources and the 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 therapy and like the people who were capable of speaking to what you were upset about while also encouraging you to be calm at the same time was difficult. Because there are people who will tell you to calm down, and not actually validate what it is that is bothering you, that has hurt you, that has taken away your peace and disturbed you, that traumatized you, that triggered you, whatever, whether it was something that you saw that was disturbing or something you're tired of seeing that is disturbing or something that you're actively experiencing that is disturbing. Not having access to people and friends and loved ones who will speak to what it is that you're upset about and also help you to access calm, not because of the way that you sound or because of what you're giving, but because they know how much it hurts to be angry, how much harm you're causing yourself by being so upset. You know, not because they want you to have peace, but because they want you to not scare the people around you, right? Or scare them because your rage is upsetting them. So, like, I think also there's like another thing where it's like calm is also an important responsibility to realize during moments where we are incapable of understanding the impact of our words or our actions when we aren't calm. you know, and like at the same time. And so, like, having access to therapy and people who understand that and who really care about you and what is bothering you and what's making you not feel calm is is really important, you know, and then also being able to remind yourself, you know, that you're going to be okay, that you know that you're going to be okay, and if it's not about you, that you will have access to a clearer understanding about what you can and cannot do if you access calm, you know, that working toward your peace and your calm will help you to arrive to a solution with more reason than if you weren't calm overall, I think, you know. Oh man, the question disappeared. That was cool. um I did say that was my last question, y'all.
Well, I saw one that really spoke to me, you know, as a
Oh, you
Scooby
could see them
girl.
too.
Um, well, I saw something. Yeah, it was.
Pin it.
It was. Where'd she go? Oh, would you ever do? Well, I think I might know your answer. I don't know. It was.
Pin it, pin it, pin it.
Would you ever do a Scream movie?
Click it.
How do I pin it?
I think you just press it.
I just liked it, but I don't think it'll let me pin it
Are
because
we seeing the
it
question?
was in the question box.
I'm in the question box too. I mean, if you just press it, it like pins.
It not pin.
A Scream movie. Oh, I see it. Okay. Bam. You see it? Oh, I think I need to add you as a moderator.
Those FX. Y'all know the vibes. They know the vibes. Final girling down.
Did they say did they say Scream Queen
Mm-mm.
or Scream? I think you would be phenomenal in a Scream movie.
It's
Um, I was I was also thinking about Scary Movie because I always get them confused for some reason. But Scream is definitely a classic. Wow. Would I do a Scream movie?
if I were 19 when the first Scream came out, maybe I'd pop on board for Scream 2 or Scream 3. Actually, definitely Scream 3 with Parker Posey. Um, but now, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I would love to, but I just don't know. You know what I mean? I haven't even seen the most recent, the last one. Um, and I don't know why I'm holding out for that, but all right. Oh, the horror.
I don't know. Scream.
Scary movie would be.
I Scary movie definitely.
Uh,
I mean, Scary movie for sure. Period. I think Scream. If they invited me to do it, I would, you know, like honestly. But IDK.
mm-hmm.
I don't like I want to be I want to give I want to give what it's supposed to give. That's all I care about. And if I can't, I don't even want to try.
Exactly. Exactly.
I would love to, it depends. It depends. I would live to see you in American Horror Story, actually, Tish. I think you would give us everything.
Mhm.
Scream Queens would be fun as hell, also. Are there any other questions that you want to answer?
Um, no. Other one.
Mm, mm, mm. Is the category still dazed and confused? Kiki. The category is always dazed and confused on planet Earth, darling.
Perpetually.
Perpetually. Oh, what advice would I give to upcoming actors? I think it's the same advice that I would give to any. I know AHS would be everything. I love American Horror Story. Um, I think the same advice that I would give to any artist or anybody that wants to do something that they really enjoy. The same.
Hmm.
And I think that it's keep doing what you love and creating stories that matter to you, regardless, regardless of the size of the role, the regardless of working in Hollywood, you know, really put your foot in and do it, and just do it, and don't stop because there's so much space. Just make sure that whatever it is that you're creating is reflecting something that is true, whether it is something imagined that is just purely imagination. Everything is connected to truth in some way. Y'all are so funny. Okay. I'm so hungry. I'm gonna go and get some dinner, y'all.
What are you gonna have for dinner?
I am probably gonna have some of that steak in my refrigerator.
Hmm, that sounds scrumptious. Really scrumptious. Yeah, because it's the way that I chewed that tiki masala.
Hey, Puerto Rico. Hey, Jessica. I know that's Tiki Masala. Um, this was so fun, y'all. Tish, do you think I should share this on the feed? It's really long.
Um, I don't know. I don't know.
Oh,
There might have been some gems in here, but
one more.
actually, there were some gems.
I have a cousin who came out as trans, and I want to be supportive to her. Do you have any advice? I love her, and I want her to know I'm always going to be there, and she doesn't have to hide from me.
Mhm. Hey, cousin.
Hey, cousin. Cousin is fine too. Huh.
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 Hey, cuz.
I think what you just said here, tell your cousin
Mhm.
and show up, you know, for your cousin and learn more about her experience and, um, really support your cousin and protect her like it's your experience. You know, my cousin, my cousin, I only had one cousin when I was younger. Actually, I have a few now. But when I was younger, I had one cousin who told me that no matter what, they will always love me. He's the only one that visited me when I was in foster care. And he told me he will always love me no matter what. And I didn't really, I mean, like, I don't know, it was just beautiful, because you grow up living an experience where, where people's love for you is really conditional
Mhm.
around what they think your life choices are, and it's really, really silly. And Jonathan was his name. He passed away. Um, he always told me that he will always love me no matter what. And then, he really showed it. And that meant so much to me. He was everything. He like he actually wanted to spend time with me. He wanted to hang out with me. And we also shared the same last name. But he was everything. And, him spending time with me when he did meant the world to me. And if you do the same with your loved ones with who are trans and the people that you know, it's gonna be worthwhile. It's gonna really have a dramatic effect on that person's nervous system, on that person's growth, that person's life and everything.
I didn't, I mean, well, I did, but like we didn't, because I think we were both grieving loss, have been grieving the loss of a relative, of a cousin specifically. My cousin recently passed, was taken away from us. And this was the cousin who really, like, I think that, as I got older, more people saw me, but I feel like this person really, like, saw me um, when we were young. And I feel like it's still, like, I'm impacted by her. Like, I'm forever impacted by her. Um, so yeah, like to the cousin in the comments, like really show up in love and protection for your relative, like in all the ways that you can, because
Mm,
you like your existence. And I think even like saying something now, I think that it's probably on the other end, your cousin has probably already felt this um this love and care that you have for them. And so
mm,
naming it will also feel affirming. Um,
mm.
mhm. Shout out to the cousins.
Shout out to the cousins, yo. The cousins always be the ones. Always be the ones. And be the really beautiful link back into our families.
Hmm.
Just want to send lots of love to all of Borican, all the Boricuas, and all of Puerto Rico. And the Dominican Republic was also hit really hard. Sending love to all of the Dominican Republic. I'm Puerto Rican and Dominican. And I have family on both islands. And so it is nerve-wracking to know what's going on. There's currently no power on both islands for a lot of people who cannot afford generators. So I'm sending you all so much love, and we're gonna get through this. We're gonna get through this. And I'm sending love especially to the trans people in those areas and trans people in general. Um, you deserve love. You deserve healthy love by healthy people, at least by people who are really working on themselves. You don't gotta settle for people who are dealing with lots of things that you don't deserve to take on, that you shouldn't have to take on. That was me before. I felt like those kinds of people would be the only people who would love me. And it hurt me a lot and it caused me a lot of trouble. And nobody deserves that. Trans people deserve to be loved and to be seen and to be taken as life partners, mothers and fathers of children, and to be trusted um, by our families, by our lovers, by everybody. Trans people deserve grace and opportunity. Black trans folks, brown trans folks, even a lot of non-trans folks who are non-people of color as well also struggle and have a lot up against them, especially trans youth in general, of all ancestral experiences. I was a trans youth too. It's hard. Um, it's giving, we all need a lot of grace
Hmm.
right now, and to give and to receive that. Everyone, and I think like the more we lean into that compassion and grace, the better off we will all be. Um, Sending so much love to everyone.
Mm.
Love y'all. Love you,
I love
Tish.
you. I love you.
Love you, Devin. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Mm. Oh, wait, Tish. I don't think I'm gonna post this, y'all, but I hope you all have a good night. Bye. Thank you for joining us. And I hope this question answering was fruitful for everyone involved. It definitely was for us. Take care.